Hello, this is Alyssa. This is going to be my very first podcast. Pretty excited about that. I've been kind of wanting to do one of these for a really long time, but just haven't gotten around to it. And what better time to do it now than Miss Rona herself. She just gave us all the time in the world to do whatever we want, pretty much, because we're inside all day, everything's closed. And I don't have a name for what I'm going to call this podcast yet, but I do have my boyfriend joining me today. His name is Jonathan.
Hi.
It sounded so awkward. um, because of Miss Rona, we are on a Zoom call together, and I'm recording on that because Disney closed and he lost his job. And he had to move back in with his parents. Sad day. I was like, you can just come sleep on my floor, but he said no. I would have got him like a Lightning McQueen sleeping bag or something. It would have been real cool. But
No, but I could have got one of those like small plastic Lightning McQueen beds.
My friend Scott, he actually had one of those, and he had girls come over to his house. But anyway, can you imagine being an adult and having a Lightning McQueen bed frame? I'm sorry.
Do they eat? I don't even know how tall your friend Scott is, but I don't
He's really
think
short.
I don't think he'd be big enough to for an adult to sleep in.
I think it's crazy you guys literally are like within 30 minutes of each other now. Both
I
in
know.
both in both in like 3 states away and haven't met each other. Like it's just kind of sad to me. Yeah. But yeah, Lightning McQueen. We love him. But yeah, so it's been since March since we've seen each other, right?
Yeah.
Am I counting it correctly?
March 18th.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand here. Dates memorized. Like I can't. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the day I left.
That's the day I left. Okay, well, yeah. Let's not talk about it because we both were so big sad, basically. So, big sad energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So today we wanted to talk about Disney, of course, because that's something we both really like. I kind of just wanted to talk about like Magic Kingdom because that's just something I've really missed. I really have missed going to the Magic Kingdom and just Disney in general. And I think
That's probably the park I went to the most, while I was working there. Even when there was days where you were working and I got off work and there's nothing for me to do, I'd bring a change of clothes or go back to my apartment and then go right to Magic Kingdom and just go by myself.
yeah, and then I'd always be mad, but whatever. How dare you go without me?
It's not like I really did much while I was in it. I kind of just took the time to absorb the atmosphere. I would walk into the different lands because I've been going because we came from different places where yeah, you live in the Orlando area, so you were kind of coming from that pass holder perspective and the local perspective where anytime I was coming it was maybe once or twice a year, so my family would always rush go do this and this. I never really had a moment to just sit down and be wow, really immerse myself in it.
You calling me privileged?
I'm not calling you privileged. I'm just saying that's two different perspectives. It's just two different perspectives.
Okay, all right.
It was kind of nice to just go in Fantasyland and just sit down and be I never noticed this before. I never noticed this before.
What things would you notice?
I would just notice the way the paths were laid out. I noticed things about the buildings, what is it called? I think it's called the Friar Nook. It's next to Winnie the.
Sorry, I was interrupted. You were saying about the Friars Nook. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because I never really noticed the building before. I've always noticed the counter, but I never really looked up at it. And there's the one store I've never really been in, but I've kind of seen it, where it's kind of themed to like that Jack and the Beanstalk, like Mickey cartoon, where there's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like the giant and stuff like that. It was just kind of nice to like go in like the each individual land and just kind of like look around and like take pictures and like kind of, because I used to love doing photography and like just doing it from like from a photographer standpoint, like just taking pictures of like all these different things.
If you guys don't know what he's talking about, there's a restaurant in between um basically the Winnie the Pooh ride and where you can meet some princesses now. There's a little character meet there. You can meet like Cinderella and Rapunzel there.
Rapunzel, Tiana.
Yeah, that's where, if you're old like me, you know that it used to be the Snow White ride, and then they replaced it. But basically, you can get like brats and tots and stuff there, like mac and cheese. The food's actually not that bad there, but he's kind of talking about that little area right there. And the movie that you're referencing is Fun and Fancy Free. You Disney nerd, I can't believe you didn't know that.
Well, it was blinking
It was
on me,
blinking.
so yeah.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. I rewatched, like, I had like the faintest memory of that movie, and then I rewatched it coming back from um coming back home on like a road trip. Like I was signed into your Disney Plus and I had it downloaded and I was watching it and I was like, this movie's kind of all over the place and really crazy. Do you like, I don't know if this sparks anything for you, but do you remember like the harp in that animation short?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember how they had to go like Donald and Goofy and Mickey, they were all poor, and then Mickey like goes into town, sells their horse, which Donald like wanted to eat or something because he was so dang hungry. I think I saw like a meme about it. It was pretty funny. Um, Basically they were eating beans and little slivers of bread, and so Mickey goes into town, and then it's basically that whole little story spin off. Like it's the magic beans. Donald get really pissed off at him. So one of them smacks it out of Mickey's hand, ends up in the floor, and then the beanstalk grows. And then they end up like trying to save this harp that used to make their like town magical again or something. Like none of their crops can grow because the harp was stolen because the giant stole it. And I was just like, how do I faintly remember like tiny little details of this movie? And I had no idea what the plot was about. And I don't even remember when I watched it when I was younger. We don't even have it on VHS, so I don't know how I would have watched it.
I like vaguely remember like when I was living back in New York, this was like way when I was younger, like watching it on like Disney Channel or something.
I don't even remember them playing on Disney Channel. I didn't
That's
even
like
have
back
cable until
before
I
they
was
made like
older.
Disney XD and did like all those different
Yeah.
separate channels. Like that's when like Disney really used to show like some of their old movies and stuff on there besides like their original programming. Like I still remember that.
Do you remember that it wasn't just that short in the movie, and how, do you remember like the creepy puppet? Do you remember that in the movie?
Yeah, it
Like,
sounds familiar.
yeah, it was really creepy. Like I don't really like dolls that much. It's funny because I have a bunch of Funko Pops. I think that's really ironic, but I'm kind of creeped out by like
But
puppets,
like Funko Pops are
dolls.
like kind of cute looking. They don't look like a puppet does.
Yeah. They're still doll
But like
appearance.
I used to be like deathly afraid of the Muppets when I was young. Like when I was a toddler, like I remember like watching TV with my mom, and all of a sudden, like this Pizza Hut commercial that had the Muppets in it came on the TV, and like Miss Piggy freaked me out the most. So I would like hide on the other side of the couch so I didn't have to see it.
Miss Piggy is the baddest in the
But I think it's
pod.
ironic because like now I love the Muppets.
Yeah.
Like I can't get enough of Muppets content. It's just too funny to me.
Every time we go do the Muppets at Hollywood Studios, he thinks the pre-show is the funniest thing ever, which there's some funny moments to it, but he acts like this is the first time he's ever seen it every single time. I'm just like, you can't think it's this funny every time.
I do. I genuinely like. It's not forced laugh. Like it's. I
It's forced
genuinely
laugh.
think it's that funny.
He just wants
Like when
everybody around
Gonzo's
him.
tap dancing, that's like the best part.
He just wants everybody around him to know that he just has superior humor, I guess, and nobody else understands.
True.
I'm surprised that you didn't. I guess like because it's usually closed. I guess you didn't really realize how Pizza Rizzo was lightly themed of the Muppets now. Like I
Well, I
kind of
did know
showed
that.
you. Well, did you notice like all the paintings on the wall? Remember, I had shown you that.
No, like I didn't get to notice that because like I said, like when I'd be going vacationing with like my family, we never like really stopped to go in there. Like even when the retheme was done, when they changed it from Pizza Planet to Pizza Rizzo,
Mm-hmm.
um, we may have walked in it for like 10 seconds and that was it. That was the extent of it. But like going upstairs to like the where like the wedding room and stuff like that, like no, didn't do that at all.
That's my little secret. That's my favorite room. Like that's one of my favorite. Sorry, that's my favorite room. Like one of my favorite spots in Hollywood Studios for sure is that little room, and they always play like good music in there too, which is nice. Like 80s music.
Yes, like all 80s like pop dance music.
It's just so it's themed like a bar mitzvah would be. I'm imagining. Or like, I just feel like a bar mitzvah would look like that room. It's like all the little
You know what?
disco
Now
lights.
that you mention it, I get like the same vibes off that. Although, like the way they designed it, it's supposed to come off as a wedding, but it doesn't at all to me.
Yeah. It'd be like, I don't know.
It's like a bar or a bat mitzvah, like one of the two. It's like I'm like, yeah, this is very reminiscent of that.
What's going on here? Cause I'm kind of confused what the vibe you were trying to give off, Mr. Disney. Mr. Mickey, please tell me what was the reason? I guess we should blame Rizzo the Rat.
Probably it's his restaurant.
Yeah, this. What
I
is
like how
this
we were
foolishness?
talking about Magic Kingdom and then just moved
I
right over to Hollywood
well,
Studios.
because that's our favorite part. So, yeah, I was about to say that too. I don't know. Should we keep
Well,
talking
at
about
least
Hollywood Studios?
at least I can one up you by saying I've been in the
Uh,
utilidors.
uh, well, how am I supposed to? I never worked there. I get kicked out.
Take the keys to the kingdom tour,
Oh, I'm not trying to spend that money. Come
but you get to
on.
go down there. Would it be
I,
worth it?
no, I can buy like 10 spring rolls with that money. So I mean,
I mean, true, but
more than
like
10,
it was
like double
like
that. So
like when I went to Traditions, I'm pretty sure I could talk about it because like if you look up Traditions online, people spill the beans about it. It's not a secret. But they're like, oh, we might take they're like, oh, we might take a little field trip. And I was like, yeah, that might is a definite. And I'm like, it's a coincidence that Disney University is right behind Magic Kingdom. So I'm like, yeah, we're probably going there. And they're like an hour and a half into it, they're like, how about we go on a field trip? Where would anyone like to go? And then everyone's like, Magic Kingdom. They're like, we're going to Magic Kingdom. I'm like, yeah, I knew it. But then, yeah, like we parked back there and went
mm,
right down into the Utilidor and we came up. We walked right under the castle, like in the Utilidor. That was pretty cool. And then we went up a stairwell and came out behind that. They use it sometimes. I know they remember in the Christmas party, we went behind the buildings on Main Street.
mm-hmm.
We came up right back there.
Yeah, you had pointed that out to me. I
Yeah,
remember.
that was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah,
And
he was like, let me just sneak back there, and I was like, well, I don't have an ID, so what if they're like, what you doing back here? Like,
I mean, I was gonna try and get you onto Rise of the Resistance the last day the parks were open, but they were like, "Oh yeah, you have to go through backstage, and they're checking blue IDs." And I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna just go by myself and leave you out there."
I said he should have because that's one of the coolest experiences I've ever done in my whole life. That is such a cool ride. So, I mean, if you don't have to wait all day for it and get up at like 5 a.m. so you can go get a boarding pass, I would recommend it.
And for those that don't know, nobody probably knows, but I worked in Galaxy's Edge. And one thing was like, if you were there late enough at night, they'd let people go on it. And coincidentally, they'd always like have my shifts end like an hour before they were letting people do it. And they're like, if you are going to go on it, you have to be on the clock. So it's not like I could have stayed to go and do it.
Why did these random people keep messaging me on Facebook? Like, I know I'm selling stuff, but like, how do you even see my profile? It's the weirdest thing. Like, we have no friends in common. Okay, anyway. Like, some lady yesterday was messaged me and she was like, "Hi Alyssa, I know we don't know each other, but I see you're a Disney fan like myself. I'm a part-time travel agent. You could even become a Disney specialist yourself and save on your own travels." Like, honey, I know this is a scam. Do you really think I need a travel agent? Do you
Like
know?
you live 40 minutes away. Like, do you really need a travel agent?
Yeah, she lives in like Ohio. I'm like, I think I know more about Mr. Mouse than you do. Thank you.
Like, if I was going to work for any company to do Disney vacation planning, I'd work for Disney and do it through them. Like, whether
She's
it
just
was like
no. She's
regular or
not
like
working.
Disney
She's just
Vacation Club.
scamming. She's just scamming. Come on. She's just scamming.
You know, one of my fraternity brothers from college messaged me when I was working there and was like, "Oh, I have a friend that owns a travel agency. She'd like to talk to you." And she requested to follow me on Instagram, and I was like, "No,
No thanks. Hi. Okay. So let's trace ourselves back to the Magic Kingdom because we went off on a little tangent. I feel like um because we do like Hollywood Studios so much, like I said. Um, so what do you? I mean, I think I already know the answer to this. Like, what's your favorite thing to do at Magic Kingdom ride wise?
Ride wise, I don't know. I feel like Space Mountain, like I love it because of the thrill.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of my favorite rides there, but I know this ride has a lot of controversy lately. But I just like how I like the longevity of Splash Mountain. Like I like how it's a long ride
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like there's not a lot of rides in Magic Kingdom that are very long. Like Haunted
It's a
Mansion
small world.
is kind of long. Yeah, It's a Small World is a bit long.
Carousel of
Splash Mountain
Progress.
definitely. Well, I wouldn't consider Carousel of Progress more of a ride. I consider it more of a show.
It's a ride. You move.
It moves like every
People
like what
mover.
6 minutes. Oh,
People
People
mover.
Mover, yeah, People Mover is long. I like that. But like as far as something that has
Proving you
like a
wrong.
story to it,
Jungle Cruise is
um,
pretty long.
okay.
Thank you.
But I don't know. I just always loved going on Splash Mountain on like a really hot day, during the summer. Um, and we only got to
Hard
really do it
pass.
twice while I was working.
For a reason. You like lived
Well,
here when it was
the weather
cold.
warmed up. The
Yeah.
weather it did warm up.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Well, it was
hitting
always hard to get a
80.
fast pass.
We were hitting 80-degree days.
Okay, but am I gonna wait 80 minutes to get soaked? I don't think so.
Well, the day we did go and do it, I literally got a fast pass for every single mountain. And I think that's like a week before they announced the closure too,
Um, Probably.
because we made all the Rona jokes.
Good times, Miss Rona.
But I'd probably say I like Space Mountain the best. Like the Star Tunnel, you can't beat that music.
I know. We both really just love to listen to the music of Tomorrowland. I feel like if you don't if you go into the Magic Kingdom and you just don't turn right into the Tomorrowland, like what are you doing? Like who goes over to like Frontierland? You know what I mean? Adventureland. Who does that?
I will say this though, from a vacationer's perspective, knowing that like at Rope Drop, knowing that everybody goes to Tomorrowland and the lines are going to be long as soon as the park
I
opens,
don't care.
you
They're
do
long all
go left.
day.
It's not really a hidden secret, but like if you go left, Pirates has no wait, Jungle Cruise has no wait, Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain have no wait.
Cause who wants to do that? Nobody. Go to Space
Me,
Mountain.
I do. I want to go
No.
on those rides.
I don't. I kind of like Pirates, but I never like really want to ride it. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to go smell the water. That's about it.
Well, on our first date at the Christmas party, we went.
Well, that's because we like met up with my family and they had a fast pass or something, so we ended up doing it with them.
If you
Besides
don't
that, I
rope drop
wanted.
Country Bear Jamboree, what are you doing?
I don't even. They probably don't even have a show until like 2 hours after they open. Like
You just press a button and it just goes.
we never even did Country Bear Jamboree together, so I
I
don't.
went with my brother when him and I went to Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
Has he ever done it before?
Yeah, he has.
It's not good unless you sit really close because then you can actually hear the lyrics, and then you're like, how is this ride still here?
We were sitting closer to the end, like where like the heads are on the wall.
They
and
are
like
so
just
loud and
listening.
clanky.
Yes, like listening to the hydraulics and like the eyes blinking, like it's so loud.
I swear, it's in your ear like clank, clank, clank every time they blink, and I'm
Like
like,
that's all I could hear because like they move. Like when they're not
yeah,
talking, they still
yeah.
move.
I gotta learn a thing or two from Muppet Vision.
That's like some Chuck E. Cheese stuff right there. Like you were going into a Chuck E. Cheese, like you could hear those animatronics moving halfway across
Have
the
I ever
restaurant.
been to Chuck E. Cheese? Really, Jonathan? I
Have
had
you?
my
Never
birthday.
been?
I had like my 10th birthday there, pretty sure. Or maybe it was like my 8th birthday. My birthday party. You really think I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese? What is wrong with you?
I used to be afraid of Chuck E. Cheese when I
Of
was a
course
kid.
you were. Of course you were.
Okay, before they changed the suit, that rat was creepy.
I guess, but I mean, for a kid, no. He basically looks like Mickey Mouse to you.
I was like 4 or 5. He did not look like Mickey Mouse. You're gonna compare one Mickey Mouse to one Chuck Entertainment Cheese?
The size that you used to be, little pipsqueak. I don't blame you.
Yeah, like head under the table.
Mr. Charles Entertainment Cheese was like 3 times the size of you. Probably step
So
on you.
there's someone on TikTok who, not to diverge, but there's someone on TikTok I saw that owns like a Chuck E. Cheese, and in his apartment
You
he
love
has
to
the
diverge.
animatronics.
You love to diverge. Like, Let me
Magic Kingdom.
Oh.
Yes. What ride do you miss?
Well, what ride do you think?
Haunted Mansion.
Really? I don't really.
People Mover. Space Mountain.
Yeah. I don't even have like any Haunted Mansion merch besides the T-shirt that you gave me that I lost and I still can't find. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's in your room.
Probably. I literally have like probably how many T-shirts? Do you think like 60 T-shirts maybe?
Yeah, you have a lot.
Like a ridiculous amount.
But I also have a lot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I also wanted to talk about the Cinderella Castle because it was really controversial. They just repainted it. What do you think about it?
The concept art definitely looked really nice. I can't make a proper opinion on it seeing it yet because I haven't physically seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the pictures I've seen of it, it's very pink.
It was like a rose gold they were going.
I really hope it doesn't look that way from the ground level in front of it. Obviously, when you take an up close picture of it, it's going to look very pink.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just hoping from a distance, because it looked very grand. It looked very like gold and like royalty. Like it looked really nice in the concept art. I just kind of hope it has the same effect um, when it's done and we could actually physically see it. Because when they open up next month, it's going to be done.
Yeah. While it was open, a lot of people complained about the lifts that they had to use kind of in front of the castle. I have a couple pictures of it just because I was like, oh, this is just such an iconic moment in history, and I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, I had the pictures of the lifts that they were using, and everybody's like, oh, it ruins my photo. But they literally lowered them so you could take pictures after 3 p.m. for the rest of the day. Like, they only did it for the morning. I mean, we both thought that was pretty funny. Like, everybody loves to complain, for sure, about Disney sometimes.
Yeah, everyone's usually not happy with something Disney does, whether it's Galaxy's Edge,
Mm-hmm.
Pandora, or just like a slight remodel to something like or even like World of Disney when they remodeled it. Like, you're not going to please everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I do miss the nostalgia I had for the old world of Disney because I didn't have a Disney pass for a long time. It was like bits and periods of my life. Now I do because I can afford it for myself, but before that, we would just go to Disney Springs. We wouldn't go into the parks. So I remember going through that place. Like, it was a big giant toy store. I loved going there. So I do miss that, but I do like the look of it now. It's very artsy and very fresh, very very modern. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like and that's like the whole thing about Disney Springs when they transitioned over from downtown Disney to Disney Springs. Like I felt like downtown Disney in a way was kind of stuck in that 90s transformation that it had with Pleasure Island and everything. Like as much as I miss that stuff and how it looked and like I'll always like how I love the 80s look of Epcot and stuff like that. Like obviously things are gonna change. Like you have to be able to modernize it. I think Disney Springs did it very well. There is the portion of it that I don't like where it kind of feels like an outlet mall, but the rest of it with like the specialty shops and
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, like I think they did a very good job with it. Like I think the World of Disney reimagining of the store, it came out good. What I miss about the old store though was how that giant castle was in the middle. Do you remember that?
No, it
They
sounds
had a
cool.
giant Cinderella castle right in the middle of the store.
All I remember is the how they had like videos on the wall,
And the
like for
characters hanging on the like the
yeah.
gold characters on the ceiling.
I would
And they
always
used to like they went for the more open room concept for like the new store because like if you notice like everything's like wide open, like you could see across the whole store, whereas like the old store there was like the men's room, the women's room, the jewelry room, the house stuff room, you know.
hmm
I feel like the store looks much bigger now.
That's probably a theft thing too, honestly. Like just so they can see everything. Honestly,
True.
I think that was probably a design factor. Also, it feels bigger. I feel like now.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right. Probably another time we can talk about. I'll wrap this up. I think another time we can talk about Pleasure Island. I think because I think it's kind of sad neither one of us could have experienced that. I think we both would have liked it.
Yeah, like all the different like adult clubs and stuff they had to do. It's like it kind of stinks because like now we're 21 and we can go to stuff like that, but we can't experience what Disney had of it.
Yeah. Who's gonna go to City Walk? Neither one of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
we we
Voodoo
only
donuts
went
are really
we
good.
only went once though when
Yeah.
I was down there working, which I still enjoyed.
Yeah.
The one time we did get to go, I feel like we did a lot though while we were there. We were only there like a couple hours.
I, I don't know. I always feel like there isn't a ton to do there, but that's just me. I mean, unless you're gonna go eat somewhere, which we only really got like a donut. But I did show him the Hard Rock. He's Jonathan's really into guitars and stuff, and I showed him the Hard Rock Hotel, and he really liked that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Anyways, thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate it. I don't know if you made it this far, but if you did, I guess we did something right. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I mean? No, do what you want. Yeah. Let me know what you guys want us to talk. Sorry, my mom's yelling. My dogs. I have a dog named Remy after Ratatouille. It's pretty cool. Cooler than your dog. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, like what you guys want us to talk about. Definitely gonna do another one of these with Jonathan. So, yeah, we'd love to talk more about Disney. Something we both have in common. Star Wars. Both like Star Wars. Even like Rick and Morty or something. Like we
If
love.
anyone wants the loop on Galaxy's Edge, I will spill the beans.
Maybe you can get some of your Galaxy's Edge bros up in here. Who knows? You know?
Maybe.
Talk about using the Force. Alright. That's it. Thank you guys for coming. Bye.
Bye.